We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Check out! Green, Eddie! Watch the curl! Watch the curl!
Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Nyheim Hines. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby!
Here's Luck. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Luck. And he connects with Ebron. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Luck. Funches with a catch over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Check out! Line 40! Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
On 3rd down, Hines. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, They want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Luck on first down. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Luck now to throw. Being chased out. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
SOS. Let's go. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. 49. Focus. 10-49. Jump back and turn.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. When you think back to all the big games that Big Ben has had over the years in his NFL career, and numbers-wise, his biggest game came against these Indianapolis Colts. That was in October 2014. The numbers from that, gosh, video game-like. 522 yards, 6 touchdowns, and a 51-34 Steeler win in Pittsburgh. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Big series right here.
Roethlisberger will throw. Catch made right side by Wilson. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and
3. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Like 30. I'm coming after you. Switch. Snickers. 66. 24. Hey. Watch twist.
This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Roethlisberger will hand to counter. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A gain of 3, second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Colts 45-yard line.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7.
180. Check 53 is mine. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. They'll roll him out right. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 30.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Here we go. 230. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Showing it.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
What's up? 59, what's up? 59, what's up?
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. 22, 44. 51 to Mike.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger eluding the pressure right. Able to find Switzer. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Black 20. Check, 59. You better bring it. You better bring it.
They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now it's Hines. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll try the air now with Locke. Flushed out right. He's got it to Hilton. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
On first down, they'll start out with Mack. And he'll be taken down at the 18.
That's it, man.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 4.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at the 33. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
You ain't doing nothing. Take 2 of them. Check. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Black and third.
On 1st down, it's Mack. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 22, Roethlisberger rolling to his right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the left hash, this from 37. And this one is right through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Complete to Hilton. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Love. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mark 55, Mark 50, 12.
To throw is Love. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and it's 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Strip that ball. Strip that ball. He's
on 2nd down, it's Mack. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on 1st down. Connor, he takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Yeah!
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
We own them. Check 13. Check 13. Check.
Now a toss play. This is Mack. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Rip right. Hey, switch gears. Check safety, check. Take 2 of them. Check three.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They'll run here with Mack, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. On second down, Connor looking for space. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard there, so it brings up fourth and goal. This defense continues to be good on third down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should fourth down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. Here's Luck. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. If you got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Focus, focus. Check 26.
From the 31, Roethlisberger. He'll buy some time right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Easy.
They'll run for it. It's Mack. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
Andrew Luck, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago when he was comeback player of the year, and he needs another one right now if he wants a Colts victory. From the 30 on 2nd down, Luck, and his throw here's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing is Luck. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
You ain't got nothing. Jimmy, these two. Sponge. No.
On the ground, it's Mack. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now from Colts territory, here's a first and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Connor. Darius Leonard, last year's leading tackler as a rookie in the NFL, in on the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On second down now, it's Mack. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. On third down, it's Connor. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
It's fourth down.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will make our score 9-0. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a two-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now Luck. Steps away to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Luck. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Luck. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The drive will start with Connor. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Take 2 of them. You think you're going to get this? 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check 3. Check 3. Black and third.
Now Mack. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11.
You got tight.
They'll go again here with Mack. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need? Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a two-score game.
And two doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.